Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you very much, my colleague, Dr. Salomon Hailemariam, for your nice introduction. And I would like to thank all of you for attending this EVA conference. And as Mr. Chairman presented, I'm Bamlak Kassahun. I'm a fresh graduate of Addis Ababa University. And for me, and I think for EVA too, is a surprising thing to have a fresh graduate on, on a presentation. So, and also it's a great honor and privilege having a presentation with senior professors and senior doctors on this stage. It makes me proud. So I thank you very much, the EVA members. So now I'm going to pass to our presentation. Our presentation is deal with the topic, comes from with the topic, the importance of addressing One Health concepts through veterinary extension work and the Alpha package. And we made this paper together with Dr. Salomon Hailemariam, Professor Andy Peter from University of Edinburgh, and Dr. Alazar Ayer from Beyond Student for Change Initiative. So I have a limited time, so I will try to wrap up as fast as I can. So my presentation includes the introduction of the veterinary extension work, how it started, and the current status, what it seems like, and also the veterinary extension work in the case of Ethiopia. We are going to see some of the historical backgrounds of the veterinary extension work that happened in the case of Ethiopia. And the final one is the Alpha package that we are going to provide for the responsible government officials to use practically in the extension work. So the Ethiopia as a nation starts experiencing extension activity a long time ago. It travels like 6, 7, 8 decades back with the era of the Emperor Haile Selassie. So in this current scenario, we see that still farmers are using in a traditional way, and our production system still is now an infant stage. That's why we are facing a lot of problem with production and productivity. So current studies show that in a case of United States of America, there are around 500, 600 millions of people in total population, and they do have around 3% of farmers. And they feed themselves, and they also feed others with an amazing potential. So when we see that, how this nation starts experiencing such kind of potential, and what is the miracle behind, is because of their important and advanced extension work. But when you come to in Ethiopia, there are around 80% farmers, and there are around 14% pastoralists from the total population, but we are still having a problem with livestock products. So it's very important to focus in the veterinary extension work. So the objective of this paper is deal with the challenge and the opportunities of the veterinary extension work, show in advance the importance of introducing One Health approach in the veterinary extension, and we provide a high quality strategies for the veterinary extension work, and finally we introduce the Alpha package. So as you see on the slide, and as I mentioned in my introduction, for Ethiopia is not new having an extension work. It travels a long years back, and it starts from the era of Emperor Haile Selassie. So we are going to see together some of the timelines that happens in the veterinary extension work. So the first one is in the former presenter mentioned that the Ministry of Agriculture is established during the era of Emperor Minilik, but the practical extension work is started at 1931 with the Ambo Agricultural School, where it established a college, the school provide an extension work in the local area when the graduates are already accomplished their study, animal science study. And then after a few years later, in 1958, the real agricultural extension work began with the aid of USAID in cooperation with a project called Point 4 Project. So I'm going to discuss in the panel discussion in detail if you do have a question, but I will try to wrap up. So in 1963, again, it is introduced to the government structure, the extension work, and then in 1971, with the EPID project, the minimum package 1 and the minimum package 2 in 1981 is started. And then in 1985, the Peasant Agricultural Development Extension Program is designed and launched. And in 1995, a participatory demonstration and training extension program, which based in training and visits, is started. In 2006, the first 5-year plan for accelerated and sustainable development to the end poverty include that veterinary extension work. So these are some of the important timelines that's happening in the history of Ethiopian veterinary extension. So now currently, under the State Minister, the veterinary extension work have its own office at the directorate level. So it's called, in Amharic, as you read it, because I took the PowerPoint in Amharic. So it's found currently as a directorate level. So what are the challenges and the opportunities behind the veterinary extension work in the case of Ethiopia? The first one is the mindset of the farmers. Still, the farmers are thinking with the traditional knowledge. They are not experiencing a new finding, research findings, technologies, and new knowledge. They are using the knowledge that inherited from their fathers and grandfathers, which is still a big problem. That's why the extension should play its own important role in intervention of this problem, because we are facing a lot of challenges with this regard. We are around more than 100 million in total population. But see, we are purchasing egg in timber, and 1 liter of milk is around 100 birr. It's a big problem. So the extension work do have a foundation role in solving this problem. That's why we designed the Alpha package. So slide please. Okay, thank you. So, we are going to see about some scenarios about One Health approach. But the first one is the mindset, the challenge is the mindset of the farmer. It should have to be shifted. And then the other challenge is the low private input in providing technical education for the farmers. And the other one is there is not any strong integration between the federal and the regional government system regarding with the extension work activity. And the other one is a poor collaboration between non-governmental organizations. So these are most of the challenges that we face in the veterinary extension work. So it's very important to think in One Health manner, everything, because we are under the umbrella of One Health. We cannot leave the One Health agenda wherever we go, because it's a very important and mandatory approach that practically touch our life. So the extension is, in my belief, I'm a One Health advocate, and veterinary extension to have a big contribution in One Health approach. So as all of you know about One Health, it's a transdisciplinary approach. I don't waste the time in defining the One Health. So One Health, in the case of Ethiopia, it travels again 8 decades back. It starts I think most of the professionals know that one of these started like 10 years ago or 15 years ago with the establishment of the steering committee. But one of the surprising things that happened is that Ethiopians do have a period history in exercising the One Health approach, long time back. That is at the time of smallpox epidemic, vets were involved in vaccinating humans. With the support of proclamation, Ethiopian veterinarians were vaccinate human beings. So it indicates that the emergence of a practical One Health approach in the case of Ethiopia. Now currently, One Health is found at a steering committee level, and we are facing that some progress in One Health activities. So now we are in a status of steering committee, but a lot of work are needed ahead. So the Alpha package that we designed for the veterinary extension is most of the extension work are production-based, which is again a big problem. It's not health-oriented. So that's why we designed this Alpha package. So in the Alpha package, we state some points that allows the veterinary, that support the backbone of the veterinary extension work to have a progress and an impact, a practical impact in the livestock sector. So the first one is in the Alpha package that we include is the introducing improved feed supply, including the EM technology, effective microbes. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this technology, but effective microbes are now playing a great role in increasing the quality of feeds. And there are a practical demonstration which are performed in Gondar and Harar that for farmers who use their routine feed, they apply an EM on their routine food, and they show a progress of a 3 to 4 milk yield per day in their dairy farms. So it's an incredible technology, and a lot of attention should have to be given to this technology. And the other one is the farmer should have to well aware about the major livestock endemic diseases. And the other one is basic knowledge on zoonotic disease and prevention and means of control. So the farmer should have to well aware about, in one way or the other, to the One Health approach. And the other one is the farmer should have to well aware about the basic knowledge, food safety, hygiene and security, and promoting and advocating the indigenous knowledge, including the ethno-veterinary practice, a major, and the farmer should have to well aware about to the major internal, external parasites, good husbandry practice in calf and other domestic animal rearing. It should have to well aware about too. So the other one is basic knowledge of hygiene, water and sanitation. And the other one is the farmer should have to well aware about to the vet proclamations and legislation. And the other one is, I am just reading because I should have to wrap up as fast as I can. That's why.
Bamlak, you have only 2 minutes.
Thank you. So, the farmer should have to well aware about the nearest vet's clinic around, and also information on the main disease eradication programs, and also introduction to silvopastoralism, again, is very important. So these are some of the points that we took in consideration to veterinary extension work. So the farmer should have to well aware about to this. So as way forward, it's very important to introduce One Health approach in low classes and high schools. and the effective use of the newly recommended alpha veterinary package is very important, and strong extension work should have to be needed to neglected livestock sector like fish, apiculture, and wildlife. So this is a picture that I took while I was a student at College of Veterinary Medicine at Addis Ababa University. Took it around in front of the library. So I call it this a transition wire. So through the alpha package from this old and dirtier system, we should have to progress up to the new one. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bamlak Kassahun, for your nice presentation, and Dr. Solomon Halamar.